Then you see a pack of Hell's Angels going by, people are going to want to look. Next thing you know, cars, because they're just staring at us and not paying attention to stop traffic.
If you wanted to break the law on an everyday norm, you should have joined a street gang. That's what they're known for. That's what they do. You're not allowed to steal cars on my block. We steal those cars.
I mean, it was so bad by us in Vegas. I was in the pool swimming, and the guys came back. Hey, Pee-wee, the cops are here. They want to talk to you. I said, well, go talk to them. Find out what they want. And they came back. They go, they want to talk to you.
Typically, if you leave the club, if you haven't been in for 10 years, you're automatically out back.
Got put out in 2006. Back in 2007, wound up going into Cannon. 2011. Came out of there. I had 4.5 years to walk off with zero support from that club.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Stacks. I'm your host, Bill Stacks, and today, former national president of the Cossacks, Ugly Man Cossacks, wants a new trial. We're going to talk about it today. There's a bunch of things going on and new information coming in daily. So we're going to talk about this case. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We got a lot of great content on the way. Some good interviews. Shout out to the Heathens motorcycle family. I appreciate them. We got a bunch of members from the Heathens coming on the show. Shout out to Rich, former member of the Death Marauders from Illinois. We did an interview, came out great. That one will be dropping soon. I'll play a couple clips from that interview. But shout out to everyone that takes the time. I really appreciate you. And we're growing every day. We're almost at 15,000. I couldn't be happier. So today, we are going to talk about this guy. This is the former national president of the Cossacks Motorcycle Club. He was convicted of a murder, conspiracy, a whole bunch of stuff. And now he wants a new trial. But if you guys don't forget that his former club brother testified against him, and that's him on the stand testifying, and it's not looking good. I mean, even if he ends up getting a new trial, they ain't gonna do nothing. He's still pretty screwed. I honestly don't think it's gonna help him at all. He'll probably just get convicted again and he'll just go right back to prison, just like, you know, go right back to his old cell. Because when, hey, Maureen, how are you? When they have that much evidence against you, you're pretty screwed. So, this is an older article right here. I'm going to read first, and then we'll get to the new one. Jury dismissed, unable to reach a verdict in the Cossacks murder trial. That was an old one. He had a mistrial, I believe. The trial of a biker club president accused of ordering the murder of an East Texas motorcyclist continued Friday, but an unexpected ending. At 6:30, the jury was dismissed after being unable to reach a verdict. Defense attorneys calling for a hung jury. No word yet on when or if the trial may begin with a new jury. Kevin Dale Higgins, 58, was reported to be the national president of the Ugly Man Cossacks Motorcycle Club, was arrested April in connection with the murder of a rival member, Brandon Edwards of Ben Wheeler, who was shot and killed in Arp on May 2nd, 2020. Previous court hearings established that Edwards was a member of the 1% Cossacks, a rival club that split from the original Ugly Men's Cossacks after a 2015 shooting in Waco. So the shooting in Waco basically spawned the 1% Cossacks. They broke off. And they started this new faction of the Cossacks. And they went on, they're pretty successful right now. I mean, they have a pretty huge following in Texas. Shout out to Hatchet. I'm cool with quite a few not Ugly Men Cossacks, the other Cossacks, the 1% Cossacks. Shout out to them. So here's the new one. Kemp man convicted of leading gang that murdered biker rival tries for new trial. Wednesday in Tyler, a new defense lawyer for the former national president of the motorcycle club requested a new trial for his client. In January, Dale Higgins, 58, was sentenced to life in prison for his role as the national president of the Ugly Men Cossacks gang. Prosecutors linked him to a string of criminal activity, including the 2022 murder of Brandon Edwards of Arp, who was a member of a rival gang. On Wednesday, Higgins' new attorney, Brandt Thorson, presented a motion for a new trial. Judge Austin Reeves, Jackson's court, citing alleged shortcomings by Higgins' former attorney, Erick Platten. The most prominent issue brought to the court's attention was a discovery error which occurred involving Higgins' wife, Miracle Higgins. Took the stand and told attorneys that she visited Platten's office before the trial. There, she said copied discovery from the trial into her personal hard drive. What the hell does that mean? He's still going to get convicted. Platten did not deny these allegations and said he was out of town when Miss Higgins visited his office. Wait, so he was out of town and some woman comes in, right? His defense, the plaintiff's wife comes in, right? And copies a hard drive? How the hell does that happen? So it says, did not deny these allegations, said he was out of town when Miss Higgins visited his office and took responsibility, acknowledging he did not make the court aware of the situation. Platten said that he discussed making her an expert witness. I was working with Miss Higgins with the discovery, said Platten. Jackson ended his line of questioning after his statement. Higgins himself took the stand and said he was trying to hire a new lawyer in between the first and second trial. Time ran out, and he was trying to sell land and raise money. Higgins' first trial result in a hung jury. You know, because them lawyers want a bunch of money. They don't give a shit what you've been accused of. They do not care. They are going to be in your pocket. I didn't know I had to come to court to fire my lawyer, said Higgins. Higgins and his wife both expressed frustration with Platten. Higgins said he never read any police reports. I find that hard to believe. It was a hustle to get the witnesses we did, said Higgins. Prosecutors for the state argued Higgins had ample opportunity to cross-examine witnesses during both of his trials. Jackson said he will be making a ruling in the coming days. Now I have a video to go along with this. Let's take a look at the video. Let's see what they're talking about. Remember, hit the like button. And then we're going to take a look at Mr. Gene Mordello being arraigned in court. It's pretty funny. Well, let's check this out first.
Hours of deliberating, a Smith County jury found a Kent man guilty of directing criminal street gang activity. This man, Kevin Higgins, is the former national president of the Cossacks Motorcycle Club. As KLTV7's Lauren Tier tells us, his retrial is not over just yet.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Kevin Higgins, to be guilty of the offense of directing activities of a criminal street gang.
In a second attempt to convict 58-year-old Kevin Higgins of Kemp, the jury determined the state proved beyond a reasonable doubt that Higgins was connected to a string of criminal activity in his time as both national vice president and national president of the Cossacks Motorcycle Club. This including aggravated assaults and the 2020 murder of rival gang member Brandon Edwards of Ben Wheeler. In closing arguments, Smith County Assistant DA Casey Sirianni called Higgins' time as national president, quote, a violent regime in our own backyard.
Making no mistake, this man is the reason that Brandon Edwards is dead. He is the reason for the escalation of violence right here. He is the reason that Chad Crow was made an immediate sergeant at arms.
Defense attorney Erick Platten argued there is no written or recorded evidence of Higgins giving any violent orders. He said the smash on sight orders came from co-defendant Chad Kroll.
Oh, so either way, right? They got everyone's pointing the finger at each other. They're like, no, he did it. They're like, no, he did it. He did it. He did it. These guys are crazy. But honestly, I don't think any of that information that his wife copied a hard drive and looked at that doesn't matter. He's still going to be convicted. I honestly don't think they're going to give him a new trial. They already tried him twice. They're not going to waste their time. He's already convicted. I guarantee they're going to just let the conviction rock.
You can't hold Mr. Higgins responsible for what Chad Kroll did. They want me to.
Ultimately, the jury heard testimony from several former Cossacks, investigators, and experts.
Discovery, miracle,
Now this
modified in any way.
All right, this is this right here is the court date recent that they just had about the trial. So let's take a look.
You modified it or altered it in any way?
Would I have altered what she took?
Yeah.
I couldn't have. It was in my
I
office.
guess before she got a chance to look at it, you didn't alter it or take pieces out of it or anything like that.
No.
You wouldn't have redacted the names of people in the discovery.
It was a drive that was there that I had planned to sit down with her.
So you didn't redact any names from the discovery.
How would she be able to come into the office and copy a hard drive? That doesn't even make any sense. She came into the lawyer's office and just copied his hard drive. Like, how did that work? So he just let her in his computer and she just copied his hard drive. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
I didn't have an opportunity.
So you didn't redact any dates of birth either.
I didn't have an opportunity.
You didn't redact any addresses.
I didn't have an opportunity.
You didn't redact any electronically identifiable information.
I didn't have an opportunity.
And you understand that the Morton Act requires that before you provide somebody access to review the discovery, you redact a whole long list of information before you let them see it.
It doesn't sound like he provided it. It sounds like she provided it herself. She went into the office. Joe Blunts, how are you, man? Shout out to you. Thank you for joining me. It sounds like she provided it for herself. He didn't provide her nothing. She provided it for herself. How are you, Joe? Shout out to you, Joe.
And the plan was...
Hang on. Are you familiar with it?
Yes, I am.
Hang on. You see, when you're in court, they get real rude. Like if you talk over them, but even if it's by accident, they get all snippy with you and shit. It's crazy.
You didn't do that in this case.
Don't do that.
You instead just handed it to Miracle Higgins to review.
I didn't hand it to Miracle Higgins.
How'd you get it?
She appeared at my office. I was supposed to sit down with her and go over some stuff. I wasn't there. She sat down and went over it herself.
You understand that's not only slightly different from what you testified to before, but even if that's the case, you are responsible as the attorney for any actions taken by your staff.
Yes.
And your intention now is that anything that was done relating to providing discovery to Miracle Higgins was an act of your staff. And I need to know, because if this court is going to pursue any inquiry into what happened, because I'm extremely bothered by this disclosure of discovery, particularly given the nature of this case, I need to direct that inquiry to your staff. She is the person that bears responsibility in your mind. Is that correct?
She was there at the office, and Miracle Higgins came in there, and she was being provided a computer to review it in her presence, and Miss Higgins used her own computer.
Hang on. She was provided information that was not redacted in compliance with the statute. After your testimony was that she called you and wanted her to do discovery, and you said she could come and see it. Is that accurate or inaccurate?
Accurate.
And you didn't take any steps to redact information before it was provided to Miss Higgins.
Didn't have an opportunity. I was sick.
And you didn't tell your staff not to provide her unredacted information.
I don't recall.
Can you put on the record for us the name of the individual who provided her the unredacted information so we know where to direct any future inquiry on this issue?
I've been Assistant Samantha Vega.
And she is the one you're saying is responsible for any consequence that comes from the disclosure of that information.
Threw her under the bus.
Is that what you're saying? Is a yes or no?
The lawyer just ratted on the woman, on his assistant. Your whole name. He said she did it. She gave her the information.
Yes or no?
Wow, talk about the incompetence. Maybe he will get a new trial. Who knows? But it doesn't change the facts of the case. And the facts of the case are he was the Ugly Man Cossacks national president. He gave the orders. He had other underlings like this guy testify against him. This guy's walking free with probation. And he's one of the guys that did all this stuff, that told people what to do. And he tells on this guy and gets away with it. Like, tell me how this is like makes any type of sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Your Honor, Samantha Vega's been in my office.
Mr. Platten, yes or no? Is she the one that is responsible?
No.
Who's responsible?
Wait, he just said that she was.
Ultimately, I guess that would be me.
And you were aware that that discovery, as you said, was extensive. And it had names, dates of birth, electronic identifying numbers, social security numbers, addresses for at least 3 or more people in it. You're aware of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And it was transferred to Miracle Higgins.
Wow, they could sue the dog shit out of this guy. Whoever was in that report can sue the dog shit out of him. He'll lose his license to practice 100%.
Of a state statute prohibiting that transfer. Is that correct? Is that correct?
I was supposed to view it with her.
Okay, but we have in defense exhibits or defendants 2, your comment that ultimately you gave the drive back to her. So you transferred it back to her at that point, knowing what was on it, didn't you? And then you came into court in January and in front of all of us in this courtroom, transferred it to her again. Is that correct?
Yes.
And all that occurred right here in Smith County, Texas.
I was ordered to give her certain information by the court.
Nobody ordered you to provide her discovery.
No.
And your testimony was that after you found out that she had a copy of the discovery, that's the first time you discussed with her this whole she's going to be an expert witness thing. Is that right?
It was slightly before I had informed.
Mr. Platten, let me help you out here. You testified repeatedly that it was after she was discovered. You said I'm going to try to help you out because she has something she shouldn't have. What did you mean by that? Did you believe that she had information she, by law, shouldn't have, and you needed to find a way to help cover that up and help her out? Because that was your testimony.
I wasn't trying to cover anything up. I was trying to use her as a consultant to where what she had wouldn't be in some form of being illegal.
Right, you knew it was illegal for her to have it, and you were trying to patch it up after the fact. You're just saying it in prettier words. You didn't notify the court.
He was trying to cover it up.
You didn't notify the state of this discovery violation. Is that accurate?
Is
that accurate?
He's like, I wanted to make her an expert witness. Why not?
I was working with Ms. Higgins with the discovery.
Any additional questions from Ms. Platten from either side about the statement? No, sir. All right, Ms. Platten.
Oh, so what do you think of this situation? I think it's wild. It is wild. The incompetence of that lawyer is insane to give the defendant's wife a copy of the whole case, basically. People's names, phone numbers, social security numbers, everything. Whoever's names are in that file, they could sue the shit out of that lawyer and they'll win. Breach of confidentiality, all kinds of stuff. But what do you guys think of this case? There's a lot more content on the way. We're going to be talking about, I got a good one for tomorrow. Really good one. Has to do with predators and motorcycle clubs. How do they let them slip through the cracks? And we're going to talk about it. I came across a bunch of them, and I'm going to share them with you guys tomorrow. Predators, like child predators in motorcycle clubs that get exposed. We're going to talk about it. If you guys like this content, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And remember, if you don't like the show, you know what to do. Start your own podcast. I appreciate all you guys. And remember, oh wait, I got one more video for you guys. Almost forgot. I must have forgot.
Bordello.
Gene Bordello. Calling Gene Bordello.
To the door.
I did this to the door. I pushed the door in.
You ruined it.
Gene Bordello.
Gene Bordello.
Now, this is the quietest you will ever see, Mr. Gene Bordello.
One second, please. I'm bringing the apron. Became angry, grabbed her by the neck.
He grabbed her by the neck.
On the couch. I grabbed the victim. Do you have a stay away order in this case? Suffered a bruise. Let me read it again.
Why is this guy grabbing his junk right there? What's that all about? He's got to fix the thong. Hey, Craig, how are you? Craig Russo's in the building. Shout out to you, man. Thanks for joining me today. Why is he grabbing his junk? He got to shift his he's got to shift his thong out of his coin purse.
I grabbed the victim. Do you have a stay away order in this case? Suffered a bruise. Let me read it again. Sir, at this time you're charged with 1 count of strong arm robbery.
Strong arm robbery. That's a felony.
Second degree felony, 1 count of battery, first degree misdemeanor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. Yo, I thought he was going to tell the judge and the prosecutor like he did before, remember? What happened to that? Come on, tough guy.
I'm issuing at this time, probable cause is found.
Probable cause is found. That means they're moving forward with the case. And he's going to jail. That's what that means, ladies and gentlemen.
I did this to the door. I did this.
There's plenty of evidence.
Public Defender's Office is appointed. I'm issuing a stay-away order. You have to stay at least 500 feet from Jordan Elizabeth Esther, their home, their school, their place of employment at all times. That's at least 500 feet away.
Yes. Yeah. So flappy lips now, huh?
And you cannot have any contact with them. All contact is prohibited, including by phone, telephone, pager, by email, social media. All contact is prohibited. Do you understand that?
All contact is prohibited. And word on the streets is Mr. Gino here has been trying to contact the woman via social media. So I don't know what's going on, Gino. He needs to cool it, man.
Yes, ma'am.
And Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
I did this to the door.
Just for the purposes of setting the bond, the strong arm robbery charge and the battery charge, the battery is kind of inclusive within the strong arm robbery, the allegation. So I would just be asking that you assess the bond on the strong arm robbery charge and not both.
He's like, my lawyer's good. My lawyer's good, real good.
I did this to the door. I did this to the door. I did this to the door.
He kicked the door in.
I understand. Your argument at this time with respect to what's the bond on F2? What's the standard bond on that?
5,000, Judge.
1,000. The court will set bond in $5,000. Count 2, $1,000. Your argument is noted. Plus GPS level 2. Thank you.
Yeah, show us your GPS ankle monitor that you have, Borello, Mr. Mardello. Make sure you guys go check out Joey Merlino's show with Little Stuff. They got the woman on the show. You got to go to Patreon to see it. Spider, what's going on? Thanks for joining me today.
Next.
I seen a couple people were saying, yo, Spider sent us here. You got a pretty dope show. Thank you for sending people my way. I appreciate it. Tell a friend to tell a friend about chatting with Stacks.
Okay, Stanley.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. We'll see what happens with all that. It's not looking good for him.
I did this to the door. I did this to the door. I did this to the door. I pushed the door in. I pushed the door in. I pushed the door in. I pushed the door in.
In this Airbnb, right?
Yes, I pushed the door.
And whose card is on file here?
Yours. But I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix the door for you. I'm gonna fix the door for you.
So if I get charged for this,
you're not being charged.
I'm suing you. I'm taking you to court.
Fixing you. I did this to the door.
He's fixing you, right? See what happens with that.
This is Dominic Sicali.
If you guys like this show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. You already know what to do. Start your own fucking podcast if you don't like this show. And remember, don't be a Gene Mordello. Peace.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged, and investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.